Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on Hypixel Skyblock. And basically, in today's video, I'm going to be going over 5 mistakes most mages make in Hypixel Skyblock. So before the video starts, make sure to subscribe as we are under 200 subscribers away from 1K. So yeah, on with the video. Alright, so mistake number 1 that people make is when they're first starting out as a mage. So I've spent around 30 million coins into Mage Gear, but my very first weapon that I bought specifically for mage was this ink wand right here. So I recommend that when you're first starting out as a mage and you couldn't afford a bonzo staff, don't use an AOTD as a mage item. The reason for this is because it costs quite a bit of mana and is just not a good mage item. While the ability does a lot of damage compared to something like a bonzo staff, an AOTD is greatly underpowered and not a good option for people wanting to do mage. So what can you do instead of an AOTD? Well, here's some options. So, as a mage, I think when you're using in your early game mage, a Dreadlord sword is going to be your very best friend. Level it up to 5-star, and it's going to be a really good item when you're starting out as mage. So I made this mistake, and I did not use a Dreadlord sword, and I used an AOTD, and this made the floors really difficult for me to complete because I was using an AOTD. So don't use an AOTD. The Dreadlord sword has gotten buffed like crazy. So yeah, that is the mistake that people make. They use AOTDs as a mage item. Don't use it, it's just too expensive. Okay, so now, we've gone over the first mistake, which is weapons, right? So you have your Dreadlord sword, then what do? Well, then, a bonzo staff should be your direct choice. I don't recommend going for a frozen scythe just yet, but get a bonzo staff, put ultimate wise 5, put on smite 6, stuff like that, and it really is going to help you out. This bonzo staff is going to be your very best friend. So I don't recommend getting an ink wand. I bought this thing for 4 mil, and it was kind of a waste of money, so don't get an ink wand. But bonzo staff, absolutely. Take this and level it up all the way to max, and this will take you well into dungeons. Okay, so now that we've gone over, the mistakes that people make in weapons, here is the second mistake that most mages make. Alright, so besides weapons, I think armor is one of the most important things the mages has, and I have seen so many people make this mistake. So when you're starting out as mage, a set of wise dragon armor is going to be your best friend. However, don't make the mistake I did and reforge it to necrotic, because it's going to cost you around 2 million coins to collect all the brooches and apply them, for only 100 more intelligence. So wise dragon armor is great and all, and paired with an ultimate wise 5 bonzo staff, the ability, well, it only costs you 29 mana, which is insanely low. However, wise dragon armor, well, it doesn't have any defense or health, and it doesn't give you a lot of intelligence either, compared to some other things. It's only going to be as good as it is regularly in the overworld, because it's not a dungeon item at all. What I recommend you to do is start off with your wise dragon armor. It costs around 2 mil on the auction house, and then as soon as you hit catacombs level 9, ditch the wise dragon armor. You don't need it anymore. Then go and directly switch to this set right here. Don't experiment and mess around with other sets, and definitely don't upgrade your wise dragon armor anymore. Necrotic can be passed. So after you get your wise dragon armor, I think you should get a bonzo mask in advance anyway, because just an extra life and it's really good. And then after you hit catacombs level 9, get this armor set right here. This is a bonzo mask and then 3/4 zombie soldier armor. And you will want loving on the zombie soldier chestplate because it increases the ability damage by an entire 5%. So after you have this set's actually going to take you a very long way. I don't recommend getting adaptive armor unless you've really outlived the set. Instead, at this point, you should focus on getting a frozen scythe, because that is an upgrade from the bonzo staff and is better for floor 3. Okay, so now that we've discussed, the armor sets, one common thing that I was struggling with is the chestplate. So some YouTubers, they actually use a heavy chestplate instead of a zombie soldier chestplate. So I wasted some money and I bought myself a heavy chestplate to see the difference. So this is a 3/4 zombie soldier, and if I put the heavy chestplate on like this, as you can see, here's my stats right now, and then if I put this on again, as you can see, they are, at the moment, the zombie soldier chestplate, just comparing the stats, is definitely a better option. 100% a better option. One thing I do have to say is that the heavy chestplate is going to give you a little bit more defense, but the reforge and everything combined makes it have much less intelligence. So in the end, it is actually not worth it to get a heavy chestplate. Go with the 3/4, and that will do you really, really good. Okay, so here is another thing that I have seen a lot of mages make, and this one is a really hard mistake to fix. So it is talismans. So as you can see, there are a lot of talismans in the game, and my accessory bag is worth around 30 to 40 million coins. Now, as you can see here, every single accessory here is reforged to Bizarre. I find that a lot of mages just cannot get themselves to reforge their entire bag to Bizarre. The reason for this is that it actually reduces crit damage. And of course, for the past 11 months before Dungeons was out, the meta was to go for the largest amount of melee damage possible. So it might be very hard to have a reforge that literally reduces damage. But you have to remember that now you're a mage, and your main objective is not to try to do melee damage, but instead ability damage. So it took me a while. I was like, I did a few dungeons. I really had trouble switching to Bizarre Talismans, but finally I did it, and really it helps out a lot. Especially since all the Bizarre gives you a small bit of health, not a lot, but that 40 health will take you a really long way. And of course, the intelligence. The intelligence is just absolutely bonkers amounts of intelligence. So yeah, if I take off my armor, as you can see, I literally have 1,000 intelligence when only holding the Bonzo staff, and then just so much health. Really, really good investment right over here. Alrighty, now coming in at number 4 mistakes that the mage makes, I think it's definitely the strategy. You see, before for mage, you could just rip through anything you wanted with no problems at all. Bonzo staff could easily do 120,000 damage and obliterate anything in dungeons. However, things have changed. Nowadays, the Bonzo staff can barely do 32k. That's what I do with all of this intelligence. I have over 3,500 intelligence in dungeons, yet still, the Bonzo staff is only doing 32k. Now, to be honest, I rather like this nerf. It forces you to use the right-click ability, so you can use your explosive sheep ability more, and it adds a new dimension to dungeon playing. Now, what you have to do is, when you're fighting things, you can't just, spam everywhere and expect everything to die. It doesn't work like that anymore. Now, you have to actually, have a balance of using your mage attack right here, and that, increases your damage and increases your intelligence mostly, and then you gotta go like that, just attack once, and then fire again. So I think that a lot of mages, they don't realize that this is so important, and they have to completely start right-clicking and conserve mana a lot more. This is another reason to go for the zombie soldier armor. It's far more tanky than wise, and will do you much, much better. Also, I think it's now important for mages to really start thinking about teamwork and acting like a team. Nowadays, a mage pretty much needs a tank to go along with them, otherwise they are very close to dead. And finally, without further ado, the number 5 mistakes that mages make. What is it? Well, it's being a mage. Why are you still a mage? It sucks. No. Just kidding. Just kidding. No. Being a mage is great, everyone, okay? And I think that a lot of mages, they hate the nerf so much. And yes, the nerf may be terrible for the mage class. But to be honest, the mage, even though he doesn't do that much damage anymore, it's still going to be the most fun class out of dungeon. A mage is special because it has tons of intelligence, and intelligence is probably the most fun skill of all of Skyblock. What do berserkers do? They just wander around and just whack things with their sword, you know? They just go around here and just whack and whack and whack. It doesn't even matter, right? But as a mage, everyone, you get to use all these special items, you know? You can swap and use an ink wand, an item that does insane damage. Go like that, hit that, and then hit with the bonzo staff, then teleport away if you're in trouble, then use the bonzo staff. This is an experience that no other class gets to face. And then when you're low on health, you can just quickly use the ornate zombie sword a little bit, then teleport away again, slap down the mana flux, and then continue fighting. Such combos are entirely reliant on large amounts of mana. And I think it's incredibly fun to use all of these cool items that are there in Hypixel Skyblock. The experience provided by Mage is like no other, really. Where you're just gonna go around hitting everything and really just having a great time. Which is why the number 5 mistake, again, as I said, is resenting the nerf. Be happy to be a mage. I have been working towards being a mage for around 4 months. And I never really knew what the class was. But regardless, I was happy to be a mage. And if you're a mage, really, consider yourself lucky. Because you get to use all these cool weapons that no other classes can really use to any capacity. So, yeah. That is my list of the number 5 mistakes that most mages make. So again, you know, this is just some general advice. If you have any questions about Mage, please ask me in comments below. I have done lots of dungeon runs and tons of research and spent over 30 mil on Mage Gear. So I really do know what I'm talking about here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and see you guys in another one. Bye!